Okay. I'm discovering how I can do this in a most democratic way. Okay. So I have two things that I want to do. One of them is harvest and the other one is water. So let's handle the watering part because that can oftentimes be quite tedious. Oh, of course, we weren't having this issue before, so it stands to reason that we should have it now. It stands to reason. I need to get things out of. Oh, I just noticed. Let's see, I'm gonna do water, right? So I need softwood and iron nugget. Oh, come on, don't do this to me today. I don't know why it was working just fine this morning and then this afternoon doesn't like me. Okay. Hello. I actually am only going to be on here for, like I said, an hour because I watched the first episode of, um, and I probably shouldn't because I already have so many shows I need to catch up on. Um, Murder After Evensong, and so I want to go watch another episode, episode 2, before I head upstairs after work. Um, I also want to finish. I have, I think, episode 6 of the Marlowe Murder Club. So I've got to get that one. I want to sign off on that. I binged Unforgettable because it's such a good show. There's no way to not binge that. Like, you can't. So I watched like all 6 episodes across 2 days. Um, so I want to finish Marlowe Murder Club and I want to watch the second episode of Murder After Evensong. For Murder After Evensong, I would say it is, um, I mean, a carbon. It's so crazy, but to me, it's a more serious version to Father Brown and um, uh, Sister Boniface. Like, and it might just be because they're shows that have to do with a church and a priest, reverend, whatever, who's solving the mystery. Like, that might be it. But I think what threw me was the photographer, because I was like, oh my God, I was just watching. Um, I couldn't. I have not been able to watch the first episode of Sister Boniface for the longest, and I finally finished the first episode, which has to do with scarecrows. But um, the photographer in Murder After Evensong, and then there's the photographer in Sister Boniface who's dating the female policewoman. I was just like, wait, that's not the same actor, right? No, it's a different actor. But it just there's little hints to how they are essentially identical. It's just someone took, or you can't really say someone took, but it gives me the feeling like if I was to take Father Brown and make it much more serious and take remove all the comedy and the humor from it, you would get Murder After Evensong, where it and this is only after watching one episode, so I don't know for sure, but it seems very devoid of humor, and I'm cool with that, because I don't. Sometimes I find the um, overuse of humor in Sister Boniface to be difficult for me to watch, which is probably why it took me literally 2 weeks to watch one episode. I feel like it's even cornier than Madame Blanc, which says a lot because that one is like beyond corny. I mean, I don't even know who you would give first or second place to in the instance of both of them. Um, but I think what bothers me with Madame Blanc, and this is just, this is no fault of anyone's except that they're trying to stick to a trope that we all know and either like or don't like. I don't need her to say, "This is how I see it." Like, I swear, every time I know that she's gonna say that, I'm waiting for the not the montage, but I'm waiting for the the scene within the scene where they go back in her mind and she closes her eyes and she's imagining what they're doing. It's like, um, oh no, I love Shakespeare. Shakespeare and Hathaway is the absolute exception. That show is brilliant. Shakespeare and Hathaway, I swear on a stack of Bibles, that's the one show that replaced Father Brown for me because up until I started watching Shakespeare and Hathaway, um, I would rewatch Father Brown until the new season of Father Brown. But Father Brown to me has gone off the deep end. I do not like, sorry to say, I do not like Hercules and Mrs. Divine with her car Hercules. I hate to say that I don't like um, the girl whose name escapes me at this moment, the black girl. Don't like her. I want the award-winning strawberry scones back. I want um, uh, uh, what's the man's name who's the limo driver for the fancy woman? I want them all back. Like I watched the first, I don't know, it's the first 9 seasons, 10 seasons with such um enjoyment. But then I get to the tail end. But you know what? It's similar to Midsummer Murders, right? Um, sure, you've got two Barnabys, but you're either with John Barnaby or you're with Tom Barnaby. Like which do you prefer? Which Barnaby is your Barnaby? And you will have people, diehard people, who will say if you're a Midsummer Murder fan, you have to be with OG Barnaby. You can't if you like John, then you're not a real Midsummer Murder fan, right? Um, but yeah, so I will rewatch the first 8 seasons of Father Brown. But hands down, if I had to choose either Father Brown or Shakespeare and Hathaway, I'll watch Shakespeare and Hathaway. I will watch, I will just watch one episode of Shakespeare and Hathaway. Like, I have moments where I can remember a certain episode and I will rewatch the entire series just so I could watch that episode that I really, really want to see if it's like season 3, episode 8. I just, there's something about that. And I think it really has to do with the fact that there is not one person on that show that I don't like. Usually, if there's a person that I don't like on the show, that will seal the deal for me, and I'll be like, I can't, like, this person annoys me, so I can't watch it. Like, easy money on uh, uh, Sister Boniface. I hate to say it, but I could do without the man, the male cop. Um, I don't hate her. I actually love her corny montage that she'll do where they'll say something and she'll imagine that she's like Frankenstein and she's bringing, Frankenstein's monster to life or whatever. Like, I don't mind that. I actually don't like, and I think it's because they got rid of the female interest that he was going to hook up with. The journalist, they got rid of her. I don't know if they, the reason behind that, if they felt that it was too much. Um, oh yeah, I forgot I had these things to do, but and because I don't like him, but I like everybody else, I suffer through it. Because I know that in theory, besides Sister Boniface, he's like the second main character because, without him, there would be no crime for her to solve, essentially. But I love the police chief, right? The kooky, quirky police chief who's an absolute idiot. Love him. Love the female cop. Love the black cop. Love even the photojournalists. I like them all. I do not like the man. Um, and his on the nose humor is like, please, I'm over it. Um, with Madame Blanc, I don't like the um what is her name? The woman who runs the garage. Don't like her. Um, she's too corny. And part of me, and I don't know because I haven't finished the season yet, but how weird would it be if she ends up hooking up with what's his name's uncle, um, Dom, Dom's uncle, who's running the bar right now for the two old people who are rich. Who, by the way, for the longest time in I think the first season, I got the impression that they were pretending to be rich, that they weren't actually rich. I don't know why that it gave me that impression. So now I finally come to the realization that yes, they aren't actually supposed to be of money. It just doesn't play that way. So it was just very weird that the decisions I think that they ultimately made. Um, what's another show that I'm just like, ugh, where there's always someone. Like, for instance, Mrs. Sidhu. Where is season two? Number one, and number two, love it. There's no one on that show that I don't absolutely love. And they've only done 5 or 6 episodes, and I'll tell you right now, I'll rewatch them in a heartbeat because she's amazing. Love her son, love the backstory with her husband who was a detective, and now she's being a detective. Like the whole bit, love the detective who works with her and can't stand her. Um, yeah, I'm not sure if they renewed it either. I know that they renewed Shakespeare and Hathaway, so I will take off of work, okay? I will call out sick so that I can binge Shakespeare and Hathaway, like because I will need to watch them from season 1, episode 1, all the way through to then be able to watch the new season. Like I'm just, and you know what it is? What's so funny? I love the actor who plays Hathaway because he does a little bit, and the second I saw him, I was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it's the guy from As Time Goes By." The episode where she wants to get on the internet, and so she calls the phone company to come and install the modem. He's the guy who installs the modem, and his name is I forget what his name is, but it's a name where he tries to make a joke with Lionel, and Lionel's like, "I don't get it." Um, but anyway, just from that one scene that he's in, the one episode, just a bit part, and as time goes by, I just love that actor, and so having him for an entire show, an entire series is amazing. And who doesn't love Sebastian? Love Sebastian. Who doesn't love, his landlord, who also happens to be in makeup and costuming and stuff, and so she's able to help with all the different, disguises that he would. The show is just brilliant. The show is just it has the right level of corny, where it's not too corny. It has the right level of really great mysteries to solve, really great just the whole thing, the whole vibe between the two of them. Love it. Love that show. Love it. And then you take a show like Unforgettable, which I loved, which was devastated when they got rid of the woman because she went off to do the show Annika, which I watched it. Do I like the breaking the fourth wall thing and talking directly to you and the relationship she's trying to have with her daughter? Blah, blah, whatever. It's not bad. It took me a long time to get over the fact that she left Unforgettable because it was so good. But what Unforgettable reminded me of, specifically with that character, is it reminded me a lot of an American show called The Closer, which is a favorite show of mine. Love The Closer. Back when I had way more free time on my hands, I would binge watch The Closer like it was my job. Like once or twice a year, I would watch it from beginning to end. Um, and she reminded me a lot of the closer, especially in the moments in that one particular series of episodes where they were solving the case, and she didn't know what to do because they all were guilty. And I still get chills with the scene where she walks into the bar, and they're all sitting there at the bar, and they know, and as they're sitting in the booth, as she walks in, that she knows that they're guilty. They know that she knows that they're guilty, but she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't want to turn them in. It reminded me so much of the Shoot Newton murders, which I treat that case and I treat those murders like it's real, like it was real, but it's just a part of the closer. And what she did, because she was so angry at what this boy did, and that she took him home and she left him, and she called. I mean, the balls on this woman to give this man a free phone call, as many free phone calls as he wanted, so that he could call all his gangster buddies so they could be there when he came home and literally beat him to death. I mean, but then the moment where the actor from Revenge of the Nerds, whose name escapes me right now, but he plays the lawyer who, and I quote, is here to undo her good works. That scene where he's in the office with her, and he reads her the riot act of all the things that she has done and all the wrong that she has done in the position that she had. That whole moment of her life to me was so strangely encompassed in a much shorter, much compact, much better written series like Unforgettable with that one actress. So when she left and they replaced her, I was like, screw y'all bitches. I'm not watching Unforgettable anymore, right? But then but then I watched I think this is only her second season now that I think about it. Um so I watched it last season and I realized, you know what? I really like Sanjeev, like the actor. I love him, love the role he's playing. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it another shot. And I actually like the woman. Like in this season, badass. Absolute badass in this season. And I like that they're giving you the more of a backdrop on the cast. And well, I guess not really the cast, because as much as I would love to know more about the rest of the people, they really only focus in on those two, right? But I love it. I do. And I don't miss the woman. I understand why she had to leave, right? I mean, she crossed the line when she refused to prosecute or do anything to arrest any of them for the crime that they clearly committed and colluded to commit. Um, so in many ways, again, similar to The Closer, similar to most shows that while they are steeped in fantasy and fiction, they do try to err on reality. So she had to go. Like she couldn't stay doing that job anymore and be um and be good at her job and be objective because she crossed the line when she did that. But boy, was that so freaking good. Um Reminds me of Vera. Oh, love Vera. But Vera's too, I could never rewatch Vera. As much as I would love to rewatch that show, those episodes and those crimes are harder for me. And so I tried, but I'm like, I can't. Like they like and what's crazy is they compact things in ways that, shows like Unforgettable have to unpack in 6 episodes. Like they take what should be 6 episodes to get through a mystery and get through the whole thing, and they're doing it in like one. Brilliant, but um so I'm glad to have watched it. I'm glad to have discovered it before it ended. I was sad that by the time I discovered it, they had said it was ending. I was like, oh darn. Um, I loved that her original partner came back, tail between his legs, but he came back. Um, I love that whole dynamic, that whole vibe. And what more could you ask for? Where am I going? I know where I'm going. Oh yeah. There's like when there's 10 different ways to get to where you're going, you end up going around in circles. I'm going the long way, but that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. I'm actually enjoying talking about this stuff because it's making what would typically take me too long and then have me falling asleep is actually moving a lot faster because I'm like not really paying attention to what I'm doing. Yeah, like all these mysteries, I am like, what's crazy to say? I have not watched Only Murders in the Building yet. Um, I want to say that my wife and I watched the first episode, but I don't even think we watched the first episode. Um, if we did, I don't remember because we've watched so much since that it gets difficult for us, unfortunately, to watch a show like Only Murders in the Building because other shows end up taking precedent um, over it. And like right now, we're in the middle of when we don't have a show that's coming on live. Like tonight, we'll be watching football. Like Thursday, Sunday, Monday is football night. So there won't be any to watching of TV. But on the other days, and then Wednesday night right now is Survivor. So again, won't be anything watched but Survivor on Wednesday nights because that's my wife's ride or die show. She will literally divorce me if we do not watch Survivor for her. Um, I want to watch college football, but um, that's where my wife draws the line because otherwise I would be gone an entire like I would be gone from Thursday to Monday if she let me watch college football. So no, we don't watch college football. I do follow it on my phone. I was just about to get to that in a second. You have no idea how much we have gotten into traders because I was just going to say when we're not watching when we're not watching right now we're watching Taskmaster, UK. It turns out many countries do many shows, correct? Many countries do many shows. Let me repeat that because we are currently watching Traders Ireland. Um, because we've watched all of Traders Canada, we've watched all of Traders New Zealand, we've watched all of Traders Australia, we've watched all of Traders UK, and we've watched all of Traders US. So Traders Ireland just started, and so we're watching that. And if not for the fact that we really don't want to deal with subtitles, we would be watching all of the other trader countries that are out because it turns out Traders is a show that's done in about 30 other countries, I think. Which traders is the best? That's like asking which child is my favorite. They're all very different. And, my wife and I spend a lot of time ranking them. The newest addition is Traders Ireland, which is great because it's another woman. So we now have Claudia, um, the woman from Traders Canada, whose name always escapes me. And then now we have a female in Traders Ireland. But they're all very different in their approach to how they're going to be the host of the show. Like Alan Cummings is very Alan Cummings, right? He's flamboyant, he's gay, his outfits are on fleek. Then you have Claudia, who's a little more reserved. She's very much um uh what's the word? You're either a traitor or you're a oh my god, you're a traitor or you're a why do I keep wanting to say saint? That's not the word. Faithful. Oh my God, the word faithful like escaped me. So Claudia is very much faithful forward. Like you could tell when she's doing the challenges and when she's going into the room to talk to them, like she wants the faithfuls to win. Then you've got Alan Cummings, who's like, he's all about the traitors. He's all about throwing it in the face of the faithfuls that they're stupid and they're not catching the traitors, right? Then you've got the regal, the regal man from I think he's from New Zealand. He's very different. He walks with a cane, he dresses very differently, he's, very well spoken, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Um, and then you've got the woman who does Canada, who her outfits are, I don't even know where she gets her outfits from. Like, and sometimes half the time I don't even understand what she's saying. Like, because I think she might be French Canadian, the host. Even though they do have a Traders Canada that's subtitled in French, so they have one that's Quebec. I think it's Traders Quebec is the one I'm thinking of. But they're all like so different. Oh my God, I hit one balloon and it pops. What the heck, man? Well, at least I was able to get that one down. All right, let's go back to watering. But in the same way that we watch all the countries for traders, we also watch all the countries for Taskmaster, which my wife and I love. They're right now doing the latest season for Taskmaster UK on Fridays. But when we're not watching that, we're watching either New Zealand or Australia. I think those are the three Taskmasters. We tried Taskmaster Junior. It's all right. It's not as good as the original Taskmaster. Um, and then when we're not watching that, also on Fridays that had just started a few weeks ago is Great British Bake Off, which we also love and we're also very behind on because they just released the Great American Celebrity Halloween Bake Off special whatever thing. So we have to watch that. Um, Yeah, my like it's crazy how and what kills me is how long each of them are. So and so because of all these shows, we just haven't gotten, unfortunately, to watch Only Murders in the Building. That used to be a show where when it came on, didn't matter what else we were watching, we would stop watching everything and watch that. But now it's not as high a priority on our list of must watch as shows like The Traitors or um, Taskmaster. And then a show that we just started watching and we're binge watching back to season one, episode one, which is like 25 years ago, is Would I Lie to You? My wife's, I don't forget why she ended up putting on an episode of Would I Lie to You. And then I was like, oh, that's David Mitchell. And I watch him um, on the mystery show that now escapes me. Um, where he's the puzzle guy. But anyway, so I told her, I watched that show, and then we really got into it. So now we're watching, and then we see that Claudia's been on that show, that Greg's been on that show. Like so many people from series of Taskmaster and et cetera, have been on Would I Lie to You? And so we like to watch shows sometimes when we're really exhausted. It's just gonna make us laugh, and we don't have to think. So um, if it's a show where we have to like be paying attention and think and have like intelligent thoughts about it, then it's a really hard sell to get us to watch it. And unfortunately, Only Murders in the Building falls uh, under that umbrella, and that's why we haven't watched it. Where shows like you know Traitors and Taskmaster, and I mean, there's shows that are intended to just make you laugh, and you don't have to put much thought into it. So, um, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, that's what we're going to end up watching. What time is it? Okay, I want to make sure I give myself enough time to watch uh, the shows I want to watch before I have to go upstairs. So, I'm hoping I'm able to finish this in the next like 20 minutes. Oh, okay. Just have to drop everything, literally. Hanging shelves, lovely. I think I just got the recipe for that actually. All right, let us begin. Before I do this, because it's gonna bug me, I'm gonna have a balloon that goes by, and I'm not gonna be able to get it because I don't have a slingshot. So I need to go. Ooh, I just realized I don't have to go all the way home to get it. I can go over here. I can go over here. Oh yeah, these are my tree gardens. I have a little bit of decor over here. I had to shift. I hate when I have to shift the building because it means I have to move it twice. So I've had to move the shop, Able Sisters shop and Nook's Cranny twice. Actually, like 6 times or however many times, I don't even know, in order to get it in the right spot. I want to get something out. I want to get out. I think I have like 2 slingshots. I just need to get out one. Yeah. I just feel better having this on me because so often when I'm doing what I'm doing, the balloon will just come. But were you trying to get my attention? You were. I had a feeling. What do you want? No, I would not like to come over. People have been trying to get me to come over. And it's like, I'm busy. Yeah. And I definitely don't want to come over to your house because I'm trying to get rid of you. So, hell no, I'm not coming over. Okay. All right, let's finish our tomato picking so that I can make my money today. Make that paper. And then I'm gonna watch episode 2. Um if Murder After Evensong episode 2 is really good, I might just let episode 3 play, or I'm gonna stop it so that I can watch the end of the Marlowe Murder Club because I really want to get to the end of that. Then there's the shows that I want to start that I haven't started yet because of issues like this. Then here I go starting Marlowe Murder Club. Um, but I was thinking, should we keep this small image back? Sorry, I just got a message from my illustrator about something. Um, yeah, I'm trying not to start anything. I want to finish things before I start them, which is why I want to finish Marlowe Murder Club, so I don't feel too bad about starting um, Murder After Evensong. But I want to watch Mr. T because I did return to PBS and watching PBS shows, which is great because I didn't keep watching what's it called? Scarlet and the Duke, I think is what it's called. I started watching that and then I don't know what happened, but I totally like stopped logging into PBS. So I think, it just fell off my radar. But going back to watch Unforgettable um, and Marlowe Murder Club, and then wanting to watch Mr. T, I was reminded that I was watching Scarlet and the Duke. I was also reminded that I was watching The Great American Recipe, I think, um, which they've done so many episodes for that. Or seasons. I don't even know if I'll ever catch up, but there's just not enough time in the day. I tell you, not enough time in the day for me to watch it all, and I want to watch it all. Okay, let's now. I've had to remap my tomatoes so many times because I don't like picking something and then not having enough space in my pockets to pick it all. So luckily, I've done the right calculation so that I'm able to pick what I need to pick and not have to like double back. The only time I have to double back is for the pumpkins, but that's because there's four colors, so I can only pick two colors at a time. But otherwise, when I'm picking a veg, I can pick all of the veg without having to stop because my pockets are full, which is the worst thing in the world when you're trying to make a buck. All right, that's all of them? Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna sell this and then I'm gonna do the sugar cane and the wheat, and then I'm done. I will water those three areas. Where am I going? Oh my God. I was on the same. I went too far. I forgot that I moved Nook's Cranny. Tomorrow they'll be back where they should belong. You would think with all the veggies that I picked that I would be making way more food than I do make, which is currently no food at all. Um, Although I did sacrifice several pumpkins the other day to make a lot of pumpkin decor. So, oh, hold on, my wife just messaged me. Michelle sent a good video. Ooh, my son's school sent a picture and a. Let me look at the video. Hold on. Okay, let's see. Ah, yes. Here's also a video of Dax practicing stop, drop, and roll. Oh. Oh, I know what my wife is gonna say. Why is this thing not downloading? I might have to do it on my computer. It's not downloading on my phone. Oh, let me write this down. I think I hit 100% on that. Let's see, October 6th. Tomatoes. I don't know how I wound up doing the exact amount for the sugarcane, wheat, and tomatoes. Like, I harvest the exact same amount. Boy, this is a lot of tomatoes on one page. I would love it if in the next Animal Crossing they allow us to have pages of this. Like, let me use the L and the R buttons to go to like the next page, and then have me pay X amount of bells to expand my internal pocket storage or whatever. Oh, look at that picture of him outside. Styling and profiling. Sold. Let me do the math. Hold on for a second. If I an hour and a half, I think I'm gonna have to stop here because I really want to make sure I watch 2 episodes. I thought I could do an hour, but it looks like I'm only gonna be able to do. Oh, did I show you who my new villager is? I had to go villager hunting this weekend. Check this out. He's the cutest. Say hello to Clay. Oh my God, he's cooking something. You're gonna give me a recipe already? I just got here. Or actually say you just got here. I'm excited. I'm gonna come around the corner. Hold on, let's get a good angle on this now as you give me this recipe. This is Clay. He's so cute. Guess what? I'm making lunch. Although I will say his house it makes me feel a little bit uneasy. I mean, he has a freaking bonfire in his house and fossils everywhere. Like, I think he wants to live in a cave. Oh, I already know how to make bread gratin, but that's all right. I'll take it anyway, even though I already know how to make it. Oh, you already know that recipe, huh? Well, that just means you get to give it to someone. I love how the game knows that I know it, so they say that. But yeah, like, I mean, the fossils is kind of creepy, and like the fire in the middle is, I mean, I don't know, but yeah. So Clay, love him. Jitters is basically who ended up leaving. I think Jitters was a frog, I want to say. And that was one where he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna leave. Is that cool?" And I was like, "You know what? Sure, okay." Um, and I had to like do a really fast villager hunt because at the same time that that happened, I ended up with someone in the campsite, and I was like, "Oh, I don't want this," because it would have given me three. I think it would have given me three sisterlies, which I was like, "Is that even like? Is that even possible to have that many sisterlies?" Anyway, I didn't. It was not a sisterly. It was a snooty. I think it was Gwen. I think that was her name. Penguin. Oh, now I get why her name was Gwen. Penguin. How clever this game is. And so, and so I was like, nope, I gotta go villager hunting before the campsite person ends up getting this house. And so yeah, but luckily I didn't do very much. The second I saw Clay, which was like the third time I went to a mystery island, that's where he was. I was like, oh, it's a wrap, it's done. I'm gonna do that. A normal came up, which I really liked. I can't remember what her name was. Unfortunately, I already have two normals, and I was like, I didn't want three normals. Um, is this a payment? Oh, hold on one second. Hold on, my boss is asking me a question. From September. Hmm. I have one for 6686. Is that the one you're asking about? Hmm. No. That's a weird amount I don't have. Okay. I do have to go now because work is starting to um, um, starting to ask me questions that I have to go answer. Yes, it was good to talk. Thank you for talking to me while I had to do all that watering. It can get so exhausting to do, and then I end up falling asleep, and I it's like a boring, tedious task to water everything, but everything must be watered, right? So now tonight, while I'm watching the game, I still have to do watering, but only for like three crops as opposed to seven, which is always helpful. So yep, I will be back tomorrow morning, barring anything happening, which I doubt. Um, I know you don't come for the morning stream because it's way too early for you, but I'll be back tomorrow morning and then possibly again tomorrow afternoon, depending on my to-do list for work, etc. Until then, have a lovely rest of your day.